Uh, and I guess last but not least, unless there's something like dramatic that I forgot, Lost Judgment came out yesterday. I started playing Lost Judgment.
That's really sudden.
Isn't it? It totally snuck up on me.
Feels like it just kind of dropped. Yeah.
I was talking to Gene about it because he was reviewing it, and we were talking about it when after it came out, or like an hour before it came out. And I'm like, I'll be honest, like I don't know anything about it because they announce RGG games, and I go, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. It's gonna be good. The fuck do I need to keep up with this for? But what I didn't expect is that the emotional core of the early narrative, at least, is about bullying in schools.
Okay.
And Yagami has to go to a high school in Yokohama and earn the trust of the kids like he's Steve Buscemi with his skateboard. And if those bullies start some trouble, you need to heat action them through a 4th-story window and smash their 15-year-old faces through a desk.
Wait.
When Gene was talking about it, people linked him to the Until It's Done podcast animated segment, and he responded with, that is absolutely the game. That is the plot to Lost Judgment.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just
Okay.
beating the piss out of children.
Wait,
like,
so are...
what if 21 Jump Street just had an hour of Channing Tatum just beating on kids? Just beating on them.
So are you being a GTO? Or, like...
No. You're just a guy. You're not a teacher. You're like a 38 to 40-year-old man in skinny jeans fucking judo kicking kids off a roof.
Okay, but did they have it coming?
Yeah, they did!
Okay.
Because they're bullies.
Okay.
And that's the way that you deal with bullies, according to the Yakuza devs.
Okay.
Is you just beat the piss out of them. And it takes the absurdity of, like, Yakuza logic of that guy's fine, that guy's still alive, to the absolute height. I've never seen it this bad. The first thing that happens when you arrive in Yokohama is you find 5 or 6 teenagers hassling a shopkeeper and recording him on their phone until he says something rude so they can get him in trouble. To which you and Kaito, the bigger dude with the orange shirt, just decide to just beat him to death in the middle of the street. Keep action with signs, like those wall moves where you're just curbing them. And then you later run into the principal of the school, in which you describe that a scuffle took place at which Yagami actually says out loud, well, no one was hurt, but there was a scuffle. And the kids are going to show up later injury-free. Like, it's a complete separation.
So,
like, the battle scenes might as well be in your head fantasy.
In narrative, you're just giving them a spanking.
Yeah.
But then gameplay gets added to the spanking. So you have to play it out. I see.
It's absurd. It's completely absurd. Oh! I mean, I only played that for a couple hours last night. You should check it out. It's good. And I also played Tales of Arise, which I see a lot of people trying to remind me that I played. Which I'm
that's a good Tales
through.
game. That's a good
Tales game.
Yeah.
And it's good. It looks really nice. It's substantially less cringe than has been my experience with Tales games in the past. It plays really well. Like, it feels much better than the past couple of Tales games that I've tried to pick up.
My Tales of friend has reached out to say, hey, this is a good one.
This is one of the good ones. And it is substantially less cringe. At least from where I'm sitting so far.
How's the air combos?
Great.
Okay.
Charge up a move and do extra damage to your own health bar to get a bigger move out.
Okay.
It's good. It's really there's nothing special or unique about it at all. It's just a really good one that plays and feels really well. I specifically mean the feel.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like how Vesperia felt. I didn't like how Berseria felt. I think I played Zestria at one point. They all felt really light. They all felt really like anime. And
well, that's the tailsiness.
Yes, well, this one feels a lot heavier. Like
has less tailsiness.
Yeah, I guess that's what I would say.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very pleasant. Looks fantastic. Love the design. It's very bright, very colorful. And I think that's it, other than the FF14 job stuff came out. But I mean, that's nitty-gritty and boring to talk about if I'm not talking about somebody who is also way into that shit. Oh, right. And Kai Lang showed up, and he's the worst. He's the absolute worst. I fought Kai Lang in a boss fight, and it's the worst thing I've ever seen. I've been thinking about it long and hard. Probably worse than the ending. Probably worse than the ending.
Wow. Okay. In retrospect,
Kai Lang shows up for one of the easiest boss fights ever. In which he breaks the universe's own rules, in which he gets to recharge his shields in a fight, which has never happened. And then after you win, he engages his own cutscene dimension, in which he can walk up to party members that have been in the Mass Effect series for the entire show and are capable superhumans, and just do that thing where, oh, I'm going to grab one by the wrist and throw them so that they knock over the other character, and they're dead. They might as well be dead. They're out of the cutscene.
Jesus Christ.
And then I'm going to have a gunship bomb the area, and everyone's going to get knocked off their feet and fall around. But Kai Lang will stride forward carefully because he's not affected by explosions.
Well, he's...
And then, right when you think you could do something, your character is literally dropped into a cutscene pit so that Kai Lang can talk shit at you as you uselessly flail to get to him. And then post-fight, characters tell you, oh man, he beat your ass so hard. Oh, that's so terrible. Oh, he beat your ass. And then, to top it all off, you get a message from the military command of the planet that you just failed to save. And it's not a message from Asari Command. It is, in fact, a scrub quote from Kai Lang emailing you to Gloat, which is now being spammed in the chat. And it is, you can just glance over it, Woolie. It is cringe. It is Shadow the Hedgehog cringe.
You opened this message. This isn't actually a military command. Military command. They're busy tending to what's left of their planet. So you survived our fight on Thesia. You're not as weak as I thought. But never forget that your best wasn't good enough to stop me. Now an entire planet is dying because you... What? Because you lack the strength to win. The Ledger. Jesus Christ. Okay.
The Legend of Shepard needs to be rewritten. I hope I'm there for the last chapter. It ends with your death.
What a fucking scrub.
It's like embarrassing.
Wait, do you fight his harem?
No, they're not there at the time.
Do they have biotics too?
Yeah, of course they do.
Okay.
It is like a flood of cringe. And it's a scrub quote from a guy who beat you? Like, what? People talk about ludonarrative dissonance, like, oh, you killed so many people, but you're supposed to, or judgment, right? You beat up the kids, but the kids are fine. This is worse, because all I can think about is the person who wrote it. right? I'm not thinking about how it's inconsistent with its own rules. All I can think about is the human individual who wrote this and was like, yo, dude, that's so cool.
Because
Yo,
it's
oh
me.
man.
I'm writing it. That's what I would say to Shepard.
Yeah. I also tracked down an interview with Troy Baker, who voices Kai Lang, who talks about how he was a massive fan of Mass Effect, and then they gave him this character, and he was like, it just wasn't my thing, but I did my best, which I think everybody knows what that means.
Mm-hmm.